have launched a court challenge against the government of eSwatini for making a secretive deal with President Donald Trump's administration to accept third country deportees from the United States of America, which they claim was unconstitutional. The case was due to be heard at the High Court of Eswatini on Friday, but was postponed until September the 25th because the government reportedly did not file response papers. In July, the U.S. deported 5 individuals from Vietnam, Jamaica, Laos, Cuba, and Yemen to the southern African country. All were convicted felons, and Eswatini says it is holding them in solitary confinement until they can be repatriated. And to discuss this further, we have on the line Zweli Dlamini, the editor of Swaziland News. Zweli, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on Africa Update.
Good afternoon, Lulu. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Now, Zweli, what can you tell us about the case by the human rights activists, and how did it come about?
Thank you, Lulu. The case was filed by an organization known as the Swaziland Rural Women Assembly and other organizations, and of course, with the support of the center. And this court challenge seeks to an agreement with the United States. And according to the court papers, these organizations are challenging the fact that this agreement was signed without the involvement of Parliament. In fact, they are alleging that it undermines the provisions of the Constitution that stipulates that before any agreement or any foreign agreement is signed, Parliament must be involved, and of course, the office of the Attorney General must be involved.
Does it look like the activists have a strong case? And just looking at how the government of Eswatini has responded with regards to this case, forcing a postponement.
Thank you, Lulu. As far as I understand, and looking at the court papers, there is a prospect of success in this case if you look at it in the legal aspect, considering the fact that this agreement was signed secretly. Even cabinet was not involved. In fact, it was the Prime Minister of Eswatini who was collaborating or corresponding with the United States in signing this agreement. So there is a prospect of success. But as you understand, in Eswatini is an absolute monarchy. If the state or if the monarchy has an interest in this matter, we might maybe witness some other delays that seek to undermine the legal process.
How has the Eswatini government reacted to this court case in terms of, apart from the not filing response papers in time? What else has happened? Has there been any communique or response or media briefings?
Lulu, if I could just give you some brief like a background with regards to this case. The Attorney General has been vocal in cabinet meetings, questioning the Prime Minister why he signed this agreement without involving the office of the Attorney General. So when we look at these delays, we might never be sure what causes these delays. Maybe there's some hostility between the office of the Prime Minister and the AG. But in principle, the Attorney General is highly expected to defend the state, even if he was at first against this agreement because he is representing the states. So we might never be sure what causes the delay or what caused the delay.
Now, Eswatini has said it is holding them in solidarity, rather in solitary confinement, until they can be repatriated. Who is paying for their stay in the country?
Thank you, Lulu. Even though the details of this agreement has been highly secretive, but the information that we have suggests that the United States is paying millions for each and every criminal to be taken care of in Eswatini until they are repatriated to their respective countries. So it's a couple of millions that are involved here, but it's a matter that has been kept a top secret.
And how long is it known how long the convicts will be in Eswatini for until they're repatriated? And when we talk about repatriation, does it mean they're going back to their home countries, or are they going back to the US? What exactly does this mean?
The Eswatini government has been responding to this matter in bits and pieces, Lulu. And at first, the government said these criminals are not posing any danger to state security or even to regional security. But as the matter gained momentum and attracting the international community, the government changed tune, saying within a year, these criminals will be repatriated to their respective countries. Just to clarify or answer your question, the government specifically said these criminals will be handed over to their respective countries, not the United States. So they said this will be done within a year. So we're expecting the repatriation to start soon. In fact, the government did confirm that the process has started. So we are just following that, Lulu.
Well, Zweli, we look forward to further updates once, it is known what's going to happen, and just the court case that has been postponed until the 25th of September. Thank you so much for joining us on Africa Update.
Thank you, Lulu.
That's Zweli Martin Dlamini, editor of the Swaziland News, joining us on the line.
Africa Update with Lulu Gaboo on Channel Africa.